autoimmunity would affect people in their 40s, late 40s, in their 50s. But why is that, today younger people are getting affected with autoimmunity, Hashimoto, psoriasis, rheumatoid. Children are even getting it. So what has changed that, the younger population is being affected? That's something to think about before jumping into a conclusion that autoimmunity cannot be reversed. And so we will be breaking a lot of myth around autoimmunity. We will talk about 10 most common root causes of autoimmunity and what can we do about it. The diagnosis of autoimmunity, it's not a diagnosis for life. You can regain your health. You can be vibrant again. So we'll talk about all that. So I have a background in conventional medicine. I was trained as, as an allopathic doctor. But when I started practicing, I realized I do not want to practice this for life. I don't want to offer symptomatic care to my patients. And that's what made me search for certain stream where I can do more justice to the people I'm working with. And I moved into preventive health. I did a master's in global health where my focus was on developing innovations for improving the quality of life, for making for making healthcare accessible, affordable. And this further brought me into the field of clinical nutrition, functional medicine, where I could further get tools to really get into the root cause of diseases. With innovations, we can do early screening, but then if you're not still addressing the root cause, we are still, kind of pushing people into the conventional system, which again is, not really making a huge difference. So functional medicine gave me the tools with which I could really offer people the solution to recover from their health. And so here I am practicing functional medicine, where we largely deal with chronic conditions. And I have Siddharth with me. Over to you, Siddharth.
Thank you, Dr. Ruhi. You have set up a wonderful context for the workshop. Good evening and welcome to everyone. Let me actually share my screen so it's easier. Yes, I hope everyone can see the screen. So once again, good evening and welcome to everyone to this workshop on autoimmunity. As Dr. Ruhi wonderfully and very succinctly explained, the idea behind the webinar or the workshop today is to give you an understanding of the reality of this disease. There's a lot of misunderstanding, misconcepts that are floating around, okay, which are very far from the scientific reality about this disease. So I have worked in the corporate sector for a decade, but my heart was always in health and well-being. So for the last 10 years, I have quit the corporate career and I have been exploring various things, teaching classical hatha yoga, teaching meditation, healthy living, speaking in various forums. And also, I have been studying and practicing functional medicine. For many years, I actually never did any, any outbound workshop or webinar like this, just through word of mouth. I've worked with people for, a few years, and only some time back, we have started doing this kind of a outbound activity where we are trying to reach out to people actively. So let's understand a little bit about our immune function. Okay. Let's understand the 2 or 3 basic parts of the immune system first. Okay. See, the first layer of the immune system is actually our skin, the epithelium. It's not only on the surface of the body, but inside also. Like in your nose, in your throat, you have the epithelial lining. This is the first physical barrier. It also has certain chemicals to keep prevent the bacteria, etc., from entering the body. So this is the first physical barrier. If these pathogens, the bacteria, the virus, fungus, etc., they manage to break through this physical barrier and enter the body, then the first response is of the adaptive immune system. It's very rapid. Okay. Immediately, these cells, which are part of the adaptive immunity, they will become activated and they will start attacking the pathogen, let's say bacteria that has entered the body. Okay. Now, it is not necessary that every time they will be able to defeat the invasion, right? So what they do is they see the macrophages and all, they go and this is called they absorb. It's called phagocytosis technically. So they go and absorb the bacteria, okay, and they will kill it using enzymes. Now what they do is they will take a small part of the bacteria and they will display it on their surface like a flag, okay, red flag. This is actually a message to the adaptive immunity that this invader has come into the body and you better get ready to fight the war. So all of us have become very familiar with terms like antibodies, especially after the COVID pandemic, right? So all this antibody, etc., is part of the adaptive immune system response. The innate immune system does not produce antibodies. Okay. Now, the adaptive system is a slow response. It takes minimum of 3 days to ramp up to full action. And that is why we say, right, if you get a viral infection, it will take at least 3 days to go. If you don't take any medicine, it will take 3 days. If you take medicine, it will also take 3 days. Why? Because it takes that amount of time, 72 hours, for the adaptive immunity to ramp up and become fully active against the invading pathogens, right? Now, our immune system overall can be in different states of health, okay? So, if you look at this, if you are in the center, your immune function is balanced, okay? Now, very importantly, we think that the primary function of the immune system is to attack. No, it is not. Actually, the primary function is to see, observe everything that is entering the body and tolerate it. 99.999% of the time, it should be tolerating. Okay. But when it needs to attack, it should be able to attack very strongly and swiftly. And once the attack is over, it should be able to come back to the balanced situation. That is the hallmark of a good, effective immune function. Okay. Now, if you look at this graph on your right side, if your immune system has become underreactive, okay, so let's say there is an overgrowth. So right, there are trillions of different bacteria, fungus, etc., that live in our gut. If they overgrow, especially the unfriendly varieties, if they overgrow, then after some time, what will happen? The immune system will keep trying to fight them and kill them, right? But what happens is, if your body is weak, if it doesn't have the right food, nutrients to support the immune system, the body will get depleted and the immune system will become weakened. Okay, it will become underreactive, which means that these bacteria, etc., will grow even faster. So somebody is doing annotations on the screen. Please don't do this. It's disturbing for everyone. So if it becomes underreactive, then you are actually moving towards diseases like irritable bowel syndrome, fungus. People have fungus on their foot, toes, etc., and it never goes away. These are all signs of a weakened immune function. Okay. And this can actually progress into more severe forms of infections like Candida, atherosclerosis, etc., etc. Okay. On the other hand, is an immune system which has become overreactive. And what this means is that it is beginning to react to substances which are harmless for your body, right? Like pollen, for example, very common, dust allergy, very common, gluten, very common, right? These are not things which are really harmful for the body, but the immune system has become overreactive. And what are the diseases associated with that? It will start with things like asthma, eczema, psoriasis, itchy lips, watery eyes, you know, and when it becomes worse, when the whole problem has become much worse, the immune system has become even more overreactive, you get a you get diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder. Okay. See, the problem with us is that when we have the initial symptoms, we don't bother, right? You have allergy, you will keep popping antihistamine, cetirizine, etc., and you'll keep going, doing everything that you want to do, right? Not really stopping and seeing what is going wrong with the body. And because you don't bother to take any corrective action, you keep only suppressing the symptoms, the disease grows and becomes an autoimmune disorder, a lupus or a celiac disease or rheumatoid arthritis or a multiple sclerosis. So this is the progression of disease that we need to understand. Your autoimmunity diagnosis doesn't happen suddenly one day. It has been building up for years, sometimes even decades, but we never took notice, we never understood the direction in which our body is heading. Now let's bust a couple of common myths. The first thing that we are always told is that autoimmune disorders are genetic diseases. See, I'm not saying there is no genetic component to it. There can be a component of genetics which contributes to maybe a maximum of 15 to 20% of your problem. 80 to 85% has nothing to do with genes. It is our creation. Okay. And this is the science of epigenetics. This is a science which has evolved in the last 20, 30 years. And what it is telling us is that we have thousands of genes, right? Which genes will be active and which will be dormant? This is decided by what we do every day, 24 hours a day, what choices we make, what do we eat, whether we exercise or not, what time we are eating, what are we doing with our mind, are we peaceful and joyful and happy, or are we irritated, angry, frustrated? Okay, everything determines which genes will be on and which will be off. So if you are turning the disease causing genes on, then you are causing the disease in some way, right? Unconsciously. So genes are only playing a very small role. A much larger role is being played by our choices, right? So the ball is actually in our court. It may be a little bit difficult to digest for some of us, but this is what science is telling us today. And as Dr. Ruhi said in the beginning itself, the other message we are always given is you have to live with this disease, right? There's nothing you can do but try to manage your symptoms with these, drugs, with these medicines, immunosuppressive drugs, anti-inflammatories, steroids, hormonal treatments, etc. Once again, please understand that every chronic disease has reasons why the body has gone off balance. And if there are reasons why it has gone off balance, then if we are willing to address those reasons, identify and address, there is no reason why the body will not heal itself. Body is a wonderful mechanism. It has infinite ability to heal and repair itself. We have to give it the right environment. You give it the environment to cause disease, disease will happen. You give it the environment to create health, health will happen. Okay. So anywhere, if you have any questions, you can keep putting them in the chat so that we can come to them at the end of the presentation. We want this to be an interactive session. So please keep putting your questions in the chat, and the team will also answer your questions in the chat even right now as we are going through the presentation. So now, once again, what I want you to understand is that people may have different types of autoimmune diagnosis. Okay, somebody has asthma, somebody has MS, somebody has RA, somebody has celiac, Addison's disease, Raynaud's, Graves, this, that, whatever. It doesn't matter what. Okay, that is only the external manifestation. Or in other words, that is only about which part of the body, which tissue, which organ is getting attacked by the immune system. But why the immune system is attacking, those reasons do not change that much. Those reasons remain largely the same. Okay. Right. So there's a huge tree. And in different parts of the tree, there are leaves of different colors, let's say, right? But the roots are the same. The roots don't change. I want you to remember this. It's very, very important because people think my disease is different. No, it's not different. Only the external expression symptoms are different. Internally, it's the same processes which are making the immune system behave like this. So, in functional medicine, we say that genes only load the gun. Whether you pull the trigger or not depends on the environment you create for your body. So environment for the body, I'm not talking about, the environment in Bangalore compared to Mumbai, very different, climates and all. I'm talking about the internal environment, and that includes your mind and emotions, right? What is it that you're doing to the body? What is it that you're doing to the mind and emotions? That decides, right? So the functional medicine approach says that the presence of environmental factors like stresses, chronic stress, viruses, bacteria, infections, overgrowth, even medications, long-term medications can create problems, hormonal fluctuations, nutrient deficiencies, and accumulation of toxins, and many other reasons can actually trigger autoimmunity. And here the role of genes come in. Same problems can be there in my body and somebody else's body. One person will get autoimmunity, other person will not, right? Because this person who's getting autoimmunity has genes which are more likely to cause autoimmunity. But autoimmunity is not happening because only of the genes, it's happening largely because the entire environment. So, what are the reasons? The first and most important reason is your diet. Okay. Today, the kind of food that we're eating, and this is true, mind you, even for those people who eat largely at home. Okay, this is not just about eating outside food all the time. Our diets have become highly refined, right? White rice is refined food. It is actually crappy food, fast food in that context. It's not natural at all. Even the wheat flour that we eat has become more like, maida. As children, we were always told this is not good for you, right? It's not good for adults also. And sugar and, oil, everything is refined. Refined is not natural. It is not good for the body, irrespective of whatever marketing you have been done and, our brainwashing has been done. Refined stuff is unnatural. It is not good for the body, right? And once you have a little bit of genetic susceptibility and other environmental factors, gluten and dairy can cause a lot of problem. Processed foods. So, see, even the refined foods are processed, but we are eating a lot of packaged foods also today, which are super processed, super refined. Everything that can be bad is added in those foods. And then we wonder why, all this is happening to us. Also, another thing that we have been told by, lot of marketing has been done by FMCG companies and all. Refined oil is good for you. Seed oils are good for you. Okay. Canola oil, cottonseed oil, soybean oil. God knows what all they are selling to us. No, especially if you have these kind of health issues, refined oils are not good for you, and especially seed oils are not good for you because they are very high in omega 6 and 9, which are inflammatory in nature, and you don't want more inflammation. The flip side of this coin is obviously that we are not eating enough healthy fats. We have been made brainwashed to fear healthy fats, whereas healthy fats are essential. You know, we have 50 or 50 trillion odd cells in our body. Do you know what these cells are made of? Can somebody answer in the chat? What are these cells made of? Are you guys there? Suzanne is saying fat. With okay, anybody else? lipids, protein, cholesterol. So Sanjay, that means cholesterol is not your enemy, right? If 50 trillion cells need cholesterol, right? Yes. See, cell membranes are made from lipoproteins. Lipo means fat, right? So if you're not consuming healthy fats, you can't have healthy cells. And if you don't have healthy cells, can you have a healthy body? Your brain is 70% fat. And this is traditionally, this is something we knew in this country. They always said, for ghee, they will say, ghee nahi khayega to dimag kaise tez hoga, right? Those of you understand Hindi. If you don't eat ghee, how will you have a sharp mind? We knew this, that healthy fats are very important for our body. But we are putting refined stuff into the system and then we wonder what's wrong with us. And lack of good protein. A typical Indian is very, very badly short on protein. Okay. And interestingly, even non-vegetarians we find are low on protein when you do their blood test. So not that they are not eating enough, but the digestive systems have become so impaired that the body is not able to digest and absorb enough of that. And very importantly, low in antioxidant-rich fruits and veggies. See, the very process of life, the process of generation of energy in every mitochondria of your cell, and every cell has thousands, is a highly oxidizing process. See, we use oxygen to burn the food to produce energy, right? That's oxidation. You must consume enough foods which have a lot of antioxidants so that this can be neutralized. Otherwise, you are creating a lot of problems for yourself. And lack of proper water. We just think that if I filtered my water, if it is clean, that's good enough. No, there is much more to water than just that. Now, toxins has become another major category in our world today, and this is especially in the last maybe 50 years in America, etc., in the Western countries, and in the last maybe 30 years, 35 years in India. The amount of toxicity in the environment has skyrocketed. Okay. Today, we have more than 50,000 industrial chemicals which are in use. Less than 0.1% have ever been studied for their safety. Okay, irrespective of whatever you may have been led to believe. Okay, now toxins can be of various types. It need not only come from industrial pollution. LPS, the first point, or microbial toxins, is something that the microbes, the unfriendly microbes in your body produce. And if you have overgrowth of microbes, then the amount of toxicity in your body can be very, very high. We had invited Dr. Tom O'Brien. He's one of the leading names in the world when it comes to functional medicine, to address the functional medicine practitioners in India. And he was talking about cognitive decline, how the brain can get damaged. And he said that people who have these kind of issues, let's say Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and all, you check their blood, 1/3 of the blood volume is LPS, microbial toxins. That is the amount of toxicity our bodies are handling. Remember, I said disease is created by the environment we create. This is part of the environment, right? And a lot of us are just popping, medicines just like that. All drugs at some level are toxic to the body. They can be lifesavers, there is no doubt about it, right? And we need them when we need them. But just popping them just like that is very, very harmful. And crazy amount of agricultures we are using in our, chemicals we are using in the agriculture. All of those are toxic, right? They kill the small insects and all. They don't kill us, but they definitely harm the body, right? Air pollution, the moment I talk about air pollution, people think about outdoor, vehicles and factories and all of this. Yes, that is there. But the amount of pollution that is there in our homes, we don't realize. It's a hidden air pollution, okay? And things like asbestos, the BPA in plastics, the, phthalates used to make the plastics more flexible. And, where it's found? In children's toys, and they put it in their mouth and all, and they're absorbing all these toxins all the time, right? PCBs which are there, electronics, non-stick cookware is highly toxic. Okay, if one thing you want to do after listening to this workshop is throw away all your non-stick. That's the best thing you can do. And aluminum cookware also, right? Your toothpaste have become toxic, your shampoos have become toxic. It's crazy the amount of toxicity we are pumping into our bodies. Okay, your makeup, the personal care products they are all toxic. Without exception, they are all toxic to the body. So there is a simple rule that we have in functional medicine, okay, about personal care products and all. Anything that you can't eat, you should not put on your body, because your skin is like a giant mouth. Whatever you put on the skin, it absorbs, enters the body. I hope some of you are, I hope you're finding some, useful stuff, some things that you maybe didn't realize till now. And all of these toxins and, are actually known to cause disbalance, disruption to the immune system. And another category of toxins, which is very, very prevalent in our environment today, and almost every second person that we work with for autoimmunity, we find they have a high level of heavy metals in their blood, in the blood. Okay, things like mercury, lead, cadmium, aluminium, arsenic, and many more. They become highly concentrated in the environment. The problem is that they can enter the body through all types of routes. Okay, you can get them from the soil into the food, and you eat it. It enters the body. You can get it through the water. You can get it through the air you're breathing. You can even ingest it through the skin. Actually, if your skin comes in contact with all this. So, for example, till a few decades back, the wall paint in America used to have a lot of lead. Okay, it used to make the walls look better. There would be a certain shine in the paint and all of that. So all the companies started putting lead into the wall paint. See, all of these things we realize years and decades later. Later on, they realize that lead is neurotoxic. It damages the brain. And whose brain will get damaged first? Let's say you and me, who are 30, 40 years old, or a child who's 2, 3, 4 years old. Naturally the child, right? Because the body is much more vulnerable. It is forming. It is in the formative stage. They realize that the incidence of autism, ADD, ADHD, and so many other problems skyrocketed, like thousands of percentages. It increased just because of the lead in the wall paint. Okay, so toxins, heavy metals can damage the body through a lot of different mechanisms. They can create a lot of inflammation. They can damage the arteries. They can damage your neurons. Okay. They can do mitochondrial damage. See, mitochondrial damage is at the root cause of so many health issues. Once your mitochondria are not functioning properly, it doesn't matter, what is your external diagnosis. You can get diabetes, you can get heart issues, you can get brain issues, you can get any number of issues only if your mitochondria are not functioning properly. And autoimmunity is almost always connected with dysfunctional mitochondria. That's another actually whole point that we will discuss, right? One quality of toxins, and especially heavy metal toxins, is that they disable the body's detoxification processes. So once they enter the body's ability to detoxify itself comes down. So it's a double whammy. There are many ways to measure this, which we use. So this is an example of a hair mineral test in which we can actually see the level of different toxins. So in this, example, lead and aluminium and barium, etc., are very, very high, right? We can check this in the blood, we can check it in the urine, we can check with your hair, etc. In case some of you are wondering how to check, it's very much possible. Now, chronic infections is another major category, okay? What is a chronic infection? See, you get a viral fever and all, that's not a chronic infection, that's acute, and the body kind of wins that battle in a matter of a few days. So what is a chronic infection? When the body's immune system is not strong enough to defeat and, remove the infection completely, that is a chronic infection. So what will happen? The infection will be there. The symptoms that the infection causes will be there at a reduced level, not acute symptoms. And the symptoms that the immune system causes when it is fighting an infection will be there. See, when you have viral fever, you get body pain, you get fever, first of all, you get body pain, your brain is not working properly, so many things happen, you have no appetite, nausea, headache, this, that. How many of these symptoms are being caused by the virus? Can somebody please tell me? Are the symptoms caused by the virus? Shri Kumaran is saying no. Okay. What about others? Abha is saying yes. Obviously, right? Viral fever symptoms means it should be the virus. Shri Kumar is saying immune response, antibodies fighting virus causes this. Okay. Well,
Any
yes.
allergies? Allergies?
No, we are talking about viral fever. We are not talking about allergies right now. Right? Yeah. So you guys are right. It is actually the immune system which is causing all of the symptoms that you have because of viral fever. The virus is not causing any of them, right? So all those symptoms will be there at a reduced level also. So it could be too many parasites. See, for children, we do deworming regularly, but as adults, we think that we will not have any parasites. How is that possible, right? Fungal candida overgrowth will be there. It's very common actually. Okay, viral infections. There are many viruses. Okay, so it's cytomegalovirus, Ebola virus, Lyme disease borne by ticks, Clostridial overgrowth, many more types of bacterial overgrowths are very common. Okay, and very often these will actually start from the intestines, the gut, and will also reflect as uh, digestive issues. Okay, and then obviously it will also show up in many other ways. One very important thing I want all of you to remember here is that the moment you have any kind of overgrowth of fungus or bacteria, one part of your body that is almost always impacted very badly is your brain. Okay, most of us, don't understand that there is a very intimate and deep connection between the gut and the brain. It's called the gut-brain axis, by the way. Now, your gut is not just whatever is there in your body, but your gut is actually trillions of bacteria, fungus and parasites who live there naturally, and they have evolved over millions of years to learn how to impact the body's functioning to get what they want. Okay, so a lot of brain related issues, mental issues, anxiety, depression, this, that we are going through as a society is also connected to chronic infections in the gut. Another very commonly overlooked problem is liver. So today in urban India, it is estimated that 1/3 of adults have a certain level of liver dysfunction, fatty liver, etc. Okay, and they need not be drinking alcohol. In spite of alcohol, I'm saying. Now, why is liver health important? Because if liver is not functioning properly, it will not be able to remove toxins and infections from the body, right? Liver also impacts the pH of your intestines. If it is not able to do that properly, see, your stomach is acidic, right? But when it comes to the digested food, when it comes to the small intestine, it has to turn alkaline. Otherwise, further digestion will not happen properly. So that is primarily the job of the bile. And if the liver is not producing enough bile, your intestines will not function properly. And bile is also antimicrobial. Once your liver health is compromised, there is a very real chance of a overgrowth of bacteria, fungus in the intestines because the antimicrobial is not present. Okay. Not only that, bile salts also actually work as hormones to regulate many processes in the body. They are even connected with type 2 diabetes. Okay. Poor liver function results in so many downstream issues. So actually, there is literally no chronic health condition in which if you improve your liver function, you will not find improvement in health. Okay. When you work with men or women with hormonal imbalances, for example, the first thing we start focusing on is the liver health. Because if liver is functioning properly, it will take care of a lot of the imbalances which are there. See, imbalances of hormones are not there only because your body is producing more of one and less of the other. It's also because body is not able to detoxify them after their work is done. Okay. And then poor gut health. This is like an epidemic in our society today. Okay. I already spoke in detail about the microbes in the gut, right? They're out of balance. The unfriendly varieties have increased, right? Which is essentially what you can also refer to as an infection. Low stomach acid is a major problem, and our medical system is actually exacerbating that, aggravating the problem by prescribing antacids at the drop of a hat. See, you may need antacid for a short period of time if you have some issues, but taking it in the long run ensures that your body sub- production of stomach acid itself is suppressed in the long run, and that is the worst thing you can do. Okay, that's like, you've seen dominoes. That's the first domino to fall, and the kind of diseases you can create out of that, it's unimaginable. Literally any and every disease you can cause out of this. Okay, that is how essential a stomach acid is. You should never do anything which suppresses stomach acid production. And another thing is, for a lot of people, we find that there are symptoms of low digestive enzyme secretion. Okay. See, what will happen if you are not able to digest your food because stomach acid is low or digestive enzymes are low? If you are not able to digest, one thing is deficiencies will happen, right? Second thing is, if you are not able to digest, you won't be able to absorb the food, right? Then who will be eating that food? These bacteria and the fungus, etc., right, who are living in your gut. So essentially, what will happen? They will get access to many, many times more food than they were supposed to get. And if they get many more times food, what will happen as a result? What will happen as a result? They will overgrow, right? They will multiply like crazy. And that is dysbiosis. That is infection in the gut. You see how just a antacid use can create so many problems. And once you have dysbiosis, it can create even Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Believe me, it can take you towards cancer. It is that potent. Chronic constipation means what? Toxins are not going out of the body, right? They're staying in the body. Do I need to, you know, explain the possibilities out of that? Now, when all this is happening, dysbiosis, overgrowth of bacteria, infections in the gut, parasites, what happens is your immune system notices this and starts trying to attack them. Now, the barrier between the bacteria, etc., and whatever is there in the intestines and the immune system is just the thickness of a single cell. It's so thin, okay? It cannot be thinner than this. So when this war starts happening, what happens? The barrier starts getting damaged. When that gets damaged, what will happen? The bacteria, the fungus, etc., will enter the body. The toxins they produce will enter the body. The food which is not yet digested properly, undigested particles of food will enter the body, and none of these are supposed to enter. What will happen? Your immune system will think the body is under attack, right? Stuff that is not supposed to enter is entering non-stop. You see what will happen? The immune system will start attacking things which are actually supposed to be harmless, more or less harmless, right? And this is the beginning of autoimmunity. Food sensitivities, this is food sensitivity. I mean, I won't get into molecular mimicry and all, but this is how autoimmunity begins. It almost always begins in your gut, actually, right? So this is a diagrammatic representation of a leaky gut. So between two cells of the gut, there is a tight junction. Okay, these three vertical horizontal lines are denoting the tight junction. So there is no space, right? So basically, this layer is supposed to be doing the function of an intelligent filter. It should allow only what is good for the body to enter. It should prevent everything else. But when these junctions become loose because of this war, right? Because of toxins in the gut, because of an overactive immune system which is trying to attack the bacteria in the gut, this becomes loose, and things that should not enter the body start entering, right? Immediately your immune system will go into overdrive. So what are symptoms of a leaky gut? Things like headache, brain fog, inability to focus, remember, skin problems, fatigue, low energy, depression, anxiety, mood swings, weight gain, inability to lose weight, dripping nose all the time, sinus congestions, achy joints, arthritis, muscle pain, fibromyalgia, canker sores, palpitations of the heart, shortness of the breath, gastrointestinal problems, GERD, so many things. can happen just as the beginning symptoms of leaky gut. Now, another very common thing, and this is something which has increased very, very rapidly in the last 20 odd years, okay, 15 years maybe, is the amount of electromagnetic radiations that our body is exposed to, right? So every gadget that we have around us today, it is emitting a certain amount of EMF radiation. And electronic devices are emitting much, much more than the traditional electric devices used to do. Okay. And this is not good for our body. Our bodies are not designed for this, right? It's very unnatural. And the things that we can do to kind of balance this, the negative effect, we can balance it by earthing, etc. We don't do. We never walk barefoot. Forget outdoors being barefoot. Inside the houses also we wear footwear. So massive issues are happening even at a DNA level because of excessive exposure to EMF. Okay, and people want to sleep with their mobile phones right under their pillows or right next to their heads. It should not even be in the same room. Okay, your Wi-Fi should be switched off. Your laptop should not be even in sleep mode. It should be shut down or hibernating. And even if you do that, your neighbors might not do the same thing. And these radiations travel through walls also quite easily, right? So we are living in crazy times. So as I was talking about poor mitochondrial function, see, mitochondria are not just the energy factory of the cell. They do much, much more. Okay. And autoimmunity is primarily a mitochondrial dysfunction. Okay. I won't get into the science of it. It is too complex. But please understand that the immune system will react to anything in the body, even inside the cell, anything which looks foreign, which looks different, which should not be there. Okay. And if your mitochondria are not able to produce enough energy, or if they're damaged in some way through oxidative stress or infections or inflammation, what will happen is a certain environment gets created in the cell where your cell is not having the enough energy to remove worn out parts in the cell. These are called cell organelles. Okay, you've heard of lysosomes. Lysosomes should be able to have very strong acid which goes and absorbs this damaged part of the cell and dissolves it completely so that the raw material can be reused. If your mitochondria are not producing enough energy, your lysosomes will not have enough acid, and if they don't have enough acid, they will not be able to break down this. Okay, so partially broken down stuff will be floating around across the body. This is fire for the immune system. Immune system will go crazy when it sees this, right? And what are the factors which can damage mitochondria? Infections, toxins, blue light, all this white light actually it has blue, red frequency also. Poor quality water, deficiency of B vitamins, carnitine, CoQ10, lipoic acid, NAD, and inflammation in the body, right? And then dehydration. It's a crazy thing. We work with a lot of children, and 4-5-year-old children are drinking 4 liters of water a day. And when we check their blood reports, we find they're still dehydrated. What is happening here? The water quality is so poor that it is not hydrating the body at a cellular level, right? So as I said earlier, it is not just about having water which is clean. Good quality water has many other properties, and one fundamental property is that it should be structured and energized. Okay. And the last thing, the elephant in the room that nobody is really willing to acknowledge or do anything about is chronic stress, right? You ask, people at your work, they are stressed. You ask the common man on the street, he's stressed. You ask the president of the country, he's also stressed. So everybody thinks I'm stressed because my life is stressful, my job is stressful, or my mother-in-law. So, when you create stress in your mind, please understand your nervous system will not focus on healing the body, because it doesn't matter what is the reason for your stress. Your nervous system only knows one kind of stress, which is essentially that some animal is trying to kill you and eat you up. Right? Your nervous system has designed the fight or flight response to protect you in nature, because you lived there for millions of years. Right? So it doesn't understand all this modern word stress. Now, when a tiger is about to pounce on you and kill you, is that the time that the body should focus its energy and resources on healing, you know, things, and ensuring that digestion is happening well, elimination is happening well, etc., metabolism is working well? Is that the time to do that? No, obviously not, isn't it? So, even if you have a mild level of chronic stress, you are ensuring that chronic ailments will come to you. Okay. And I won't get into the complex science of it, but it has a very direct correlation with autoimmunity. Very, very direct correlation. So, I mean, this I already explained. Just to, give you a glimpse into this, we have two modes of the nervous system, the central nervous system. It could be sympathetic or parasympathetic. Sympathetic is fight or flight, where your brain is thinking, your nervous system is thinking that your life is in danger. The parasympathetic is the other one, where it knows you are safe and it is, relaxing. Every organ, every tissue in your body has receptors for both of these modes. So the moment there is a shift in the mode, how each organ in your body is functioning will change. And when you shift into the sympathetic mode, the fight or flight mode, your body is not interested in creating health. It is because it knows that it may not even survive. It doesn't want to waste its resources on any of that. It just wants you to be able to fight the hardest you can or run the hardest you can and save yourself, right? So with that, I will rest my presentation and I will hand over the session to Dr. Ruhi. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Siddharth. Just 1 second. Okay. So, sorry. All right. Thanks, Siddharth, for taking all of us through the most common root causes. How many of you still think that if you are taking immunosuppressive medications, if you're taking painkillers, you can fix your autoimmunity? Do you still think you can fix autoimmunity with just pills? Okay, I see only 3 people saying no. Well, does that mean the others think it can be done? Right. So if you're not fixing the root causes and you're just taking a pill to suppress your symptoms, well, sorry, autoimmunity cannot be fixed. But if you identify the root causes which are at play in your body, and the root causes, it may not be the same for each one of you. So some may have more than one root causes, while the others, maybe just struggling with one root cause. So we need to identify those root causes. And if we do that, we can definitely fix autoimmunity. Many times, we see there is no diagnosis for symptoms that one is going through. You may be having, you feeling tired for no reason, you're struggling with weight gain, your skin is bad. So how many of you have at least 5 of these symptoms, but you're not diagnosed with any condition? Your lab reports look normal, every time you visit the doctor, you're told nothing is wrong with you, it's all fine. But you still have these, at least 5 of these symptoms. So I see at least 5 of you have already said it happened with me. Yes, yeah, as more of you reply, so it's so common that there is absolutely no diagnosis, but you have these symptoms. Now, if you're having these symptoms, it definitely means something is not okay in your body. Something needs fixing. Your body is telling you. It's a sign your body is giving you, and if you keep ignoring these signs, things will only get worse. So that's the time when you need to really understand, why are you feeling tired all the time? All these years, that was not the case. What has changed over the last few days, few months, which is contributing to these signs and symptoms? So it's not important to have a diagnosis, right? If we run after diagnosis, we may lose years after years. Look for reasons behind your symptoms. Look for specific parameters, specific reasons that can be contributing to these signs and symptoms. Fix them rather than looking for a diagnosis. So what we really need to change now, right? If someone is struggling with these many symptoms, can we treat each symptom? It's not possible. You cannot have a separate treatment for headache, a separate treatment for body pain, a separate treatment for sleep. It has to be a holistic approach. So we cannot treat each symptom separately. You cannot take a pill for each symptom. And so you need to look beyond the symptoms. You look to take a step back, understand and address the root causes. That's when you will start seeing the change in your health. Let's talk about thyroid, a very common rampant condition today, right? In every household, at least one person has thyroid problem today. Earlier, it was more common in women. These days, we see men also being very commonly affected, right? Now, the moment the diagnosis of thyroid comes based on your TSH, you start taking your thyroid pills. Initially, you may feel good, but then over a period of time, there is absolutely no improvement in your symptoms, right? But you just keep taking the pills throughout your life because you've been advised to do that. But understand, why has your thyroid gland stopped functioning properly? What has contributed to its downregulation? Do you have the nutrition? Does your body have the nutrition which it needs to make the thyroid hormone? Just like you want to make a certain dish, you need all the raw materials. So similarly, to make the thyroid hormone, it needs protein, it needs omega-3, it needs various B vitamins, D vitamins, it needs protein. If these are not there, thyroid gland cannot make the hormone, right? So it will stop making it will become hypothyroid. You may have the nutrition, but then there are so many toxins in the body, there are so many factors which is not allowing it to make the thyroid hormone. And this can be chronic stress, there can be infections in the body, you may be just exposed too much to the non-native EMF, medications are interfering, there are toxins, heavy metals in the body, your immune system is damaging the thyroid gland, as a result of which the cells are damaged and it cannot make thyroid hormone. So look for these causes before just jumping on a conclusion that, this condition is for life. You may be you're able to make T4, but then it has to be converted to its active form, which is T3. If you do not have selenium, you do not have zinc, it will not be converted to its active form. You're not moving your body. Again, that will not convert T4 to its active form. What you are taking as a pill is T4. If you think you have taken a thyroid pill and your symptoms should get better, no, it won't. If you're still deficient on selenium, on zinc, you will continue to have your symptoms. You also need to make your thyroid receptor sensitive to the hormone, and that's where exercise helps. Vitamin A, zinc, all these help. So this this slide is to give you an idea that, thyroid dysfunction, it's not just about taking a thyroid pill. There are so many factors at play. So look into the bigger picture, address what is going wrong, and that's when you'll be start changing things. If we talk about optimizing our health, there are three main important things. The first thing is you put into your body what is really needed, right? Now, what does your body need? Your body needs raw material, right? So that it can repair itself, it can heal itself, it can function well. These raw materials are vitamins, minerals, right quality of water, good quality of air. It needs antioxidants. It needs building blocks, which is protein, healthy fats. So give your body all these and give the body a belief that it can heal itself. If you are in a negative state of mind without having that faith that you can reclaim your health, it will never happen. Now, as you maximize things that your body needs, you also need to take away what your body does not need, what is toxic to your body. And that's where you need to take out toxins. You need to work on infections, fungal infections, viral infections, bacteria, parasites. You need to work on them, because over a period of time, infections, they start affecting the cell and they just become a part of your body. So it's very important to work on chronic infections. If you're allergic to something, identify that and stop consuming those food, because every time you're doing that, you are just kind of making your immune system go haywire. Manage your stress levels. If you have a past trauma, work on it. Most of the time, many people are identified with an autoimmune condition after they'd had a certain stressful period, after they've gone through a trauma. That's the impact it can have on your health. So you need to minimize them. You need to work on them. There are ways how you can get rid of past trauma. You can manage your stress better. You need to work on that. And very important is that you need to remove the limiting beliefs, fears that you have, negative expectations, from yourself as well as people around you. And while you maximize things, minimize things, there are certain things that you have to prioritize. And that's about creating an environment which is conducive for healing. For this, you need to sleep better, right? Maintain that sleep hygiene, which will help you have a good night's sleep. Your body needs rest. You need to laugh. You need to reduce your stress, stretch your body, have meaningful relationships. And above all, you need to visualize yourself in that positive state of health. Visualization has a huge, huge impact on what you can achieve. So positive visualization is very, very important. So how many of you want to know about the autoimmunity diet? So can anybody tell me what are the three things that we need to remove from your diet, that you need to remove from your diet if you have an autoimmune condition? Just three most important things. Paramita says refined food, yes. Sugar, packaged food. We still don't have the three most important things. Okay, dairy, gluten, sugar. Someone said oil, salt. Okay, well, we still need salt. We don't have to remove salt, but we need to change the kind of salt. We don't need the refined salt. We need, the salt which is multi-mineral. So gluten is a complete no for autoimmunity. Dairy is a complete no. And the third thing is refined oils, seed oils. So if you have an autoimmune condition and you are taking refined oil, you are taking seed oils, you are just further damaging your health. You need to use the right quality of healthy fats. So the first thing, of course, after eliminating the three most important things that I just mentioned, reduce carbs, right? If your current plate is 50% of carb, you need to make it 25%. And those carbs have to be complex carb. You need to avoid white rice because with white rice, you're just feeding your infections. It's of no use. White rice, refined flours, all this is of no use. Any GMO food, you are again messing up with your immune system. GMO is genetically modified food. So the most common genetically modified food is wheat, soya bean. These two are the most commonly available in the market. So please avoid GMO foods. Replace your carbs with complex grains. And these grains are millets. They are traditional variety of rice. So start including them. Increase your protein consumption because protein is the building block of your body, of each cell of your body. So if you're not taking enough protein, again, you're not giving your body that condition to heal itself. Why we have said avoid animal protein here? Because in most autoimmune conditions, your gut health has gone for a toss. And if your gut health is bad and you're taking animal protein, which is difficult to digest, you are further contributing to inflammation in your body. So work on healing your gut. Okay, let your gut heal and then continue with your animal protein. But you need to make sure that it is from a clean source. It does not have antibiotics. It does not have hormones. Most important, increase your healthy fat. Every cell membrane is made up of fat. Your hormones are made up of fat. So if you need 75 to 90 ml of healthy fats every day, so make sure you're taking enough healthy fat. And this should be a good quality of ghee. And we strongly recommend Bologna ghee. Olive oil is good, but do not cook in olive oil because it's not meant for the high temperature Indian cooking. Sesame oil, groundnut oil, in over salads, you can use it, but do not use it for cooking. And include colors in your plate. And when I say colors, I mean diverse variety of veggies and fruits in your diet. So what's functional medicine, right? We all have been talking about, myself and Siddharth, we've been talking about functional medicine. Well, it's an approach which looks at identifying and addressing the underlying root causes of why there is a dysfunction in the body. And once we address the root cause of the problem, that's when you can start reversing the condition. Otherwise, without addressing the root cause, you're just shooting in the dark. And it's a whole body approach where we are not looking at one organ only. We are not looking at one disease. We are looking at the whole body. If someone comes to us with Hashimoto, we will not just treat the thyroid gland. We will treat the whole body, right? From head to toe, from gut to sleep, everything. We will look for, the whole body sign and symptoms and address it accordingly. So we don't treat the symptoms, but we treat the whole body. And now, how do we incorporate functional medicine for conditions like autoimmunity? So here is a flagship program, which is for 12 weeks, and where we cover various aspects of health, include right from stress, gut health, emotional well-being. We work on detoxification. We focus on exercise, mental health, spiritual health. We use certain supplements. We help you sleep and rest better, relationships, nutrition. So the program covers almost every aspect that is important in your recovery. We work with toxins and heavy metals. We look for which heavy metals are raised in your body and work on removing them from your system. We identify chronic infections because until infections are there in the body, it will not help you heal. We look for nutritional deficiencies. All the nutrition, all the vitamins, minerals, we look for all of them. We look for inflammatory markers. We work on the gut health. Most of autoimmune cases, they have a leaky gut. We work on fixing that leaky gut. Mitochondrial dysfunction, again, most autoimmune conditions are mitochondrial conditions, and we work on bringing that mitochondria back in function, because whatever you do to your body, if your mitochondrial health is not good, recovery is difficult. We improve the detoxification pathways because it's very important the toxins are removed from the body. Otherwise, we are just adding good to the body, but then if the pathways are not clear, toxins will not move out. We help you cope better with your stress. We provide you strategies for protecting yourself from the non-native EMF. You cannot stop working on your laptop. You cannot stop checking your phone, right? So we give you strategies so that you can protect yourself from the non-native EMF. And lastly, 80 to 85% of the body is water. So the right quality of water that you should be drinking, we also focus on that. So if we are working on all these things, there's no reason why you will not be able to reverse your autoimmunity. It needs dedication. It will need a lot of effort from your end, and it will help you recover. So what we do is we start with a detailed history taking. And once we have all the details, we send out the test recommendations, which will help us identify the root cause. Once we have the reports, based on your history and the reports, we do a root cause analysis and make a personalized treatment plan where we include nutrition, lifestyle recommendations. There will be a supplement plan. There will be recommendations to support your liver and gut. In the 12 weeks program, you have 2 consultations, one after the treatment plan is sent, and one in the 3rd month, which will be a follow-up consultation. And all this while, you'll be in touch with us. You will have the required WhatsApp support. A part of the program is also about giving you right techniques to meditate and stress management, because again, stress and mental health play a very important role. One very beautiful element of the program is a 3-day guided detox process. So it's not it's not just a random detox that we do. It's a very carefully guided detox process, scheduled in a certain part of the 12 weeks program when your body is prepared to stand that detox. Now, we just don't want to give you a treatment plan. We also want to educate you so that you are better equipped to take health in your hand. And that's where we have some live sessions where me and Siddharth, we will cover different topics. Apart from the live sessions, you will also get access to videos of recordings done by us. So in the 12-week program, you have 8 live interactive sessions plus videos for you to watch. You have the WhatsApp support. You will receive all the necessary guidance, handouts that you need to make the recommendations given to you possible and implement it, and you'll get all the hand-holding that you need. Now, once you start implementing, right, you will see that your body is healing. What are the signs that your body is healing? Your energy levels will be better. If you have had chronic headaches, they will start getting eliminated. You will start sleeping better. And when you sleep better, your body starts repairing itself. If you've been having period issues, your flow of periods will be better. Your skin will improve. You will better feel in sync with your body. You will no longer feel like you're dragging your body. Your cravings will reduce because, we start working on infections. Your gut health will improve. You will have less bloating. Your bowel movements will be improved. And above all, every day in the morning when you wake up, you will not feel puffy. You will not feel inflamed, right? So these are just some of the few signs. Of course, there are a lot more based on what symptoms you come with, but you will start seeing yourself healing. So that's the functional medicine program for hormone reset. And for women, it's a group program where you have, as we explained, you have the personal treatment and then you have the information sessions. So the next program is starting on the 2nd of September, which is next Saturday. And you can already start enrolling yourself because the group sessions only start on 2nd September. The treatment will already start whenever you join. The program cost for 12 weeks is 14,000, and only for the webinar attendees, there is a discounted price of 13,000, which is applicable till tomorrow. So if you want to avail this benefit, please enroll as soon as possible. And so that's the program fee. This does not cover the cost of the investigations or the cost of the supplements. So for men here who are attending the workshop, we have an individual program for men. So yes, Jayesh, I'm coming there. We have an individual program for men where the program cost is 15,000. And until tomorrow, the program is available for 14,000 for the webinar attendees. So we are open for questions. You can please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions. Anybody has questions? Okay, yeah, just give me a minute. I'll allow people to ask questions.
And in the Q&A section, about the scientific study research peer review for functional medicine, and is your program clinically approved? Do you want to address?
Yes, 1 second. So I have launched the poll. I request the attendees to please answer the poll so that accordingly, based on your interest, our team can get in touch with you. Yes.
Before that, we also have a short video to show before we get into the question and answers, right?
Okay.
Hello all, this is Aparna from Hyderabad. Few months back I've been diagnosed with MCTD, which is called multiple connective tissue disorder. It's an autoimmune condition where multiple autoimmune disorders have been attacking my immune system. At the same time, I had RA, rheumatoid arthritis, then I had Jordan syndrome, which had affected my eyes, and I had many other conditions also. I mean, my symptoms were I used to wake up with pain, and especially in my left wrist and my thumb joints. I used to wake up with pain every day in the morning, and my eyesight started to, become very blurry. And then I used to have this brain fog, very, very, very lethargic and no mood to do anything, or low in energy all the time. But one day I came across Hormone Reset over Instagram and I contacted them. I took over the plan, very sustainable plan. I could make over the changes. I think within almost 3 weeks, I was able to adapt to the plan very easily. And very good supplements which started to show impact very quickly. My hair fall started to reduce. My acne marks have gone. My skin started to feel much better, and then I started to have a burst of energy all throughout the day. And today, especially today, now being the monsoon season, I can wake up without pain. I mean, very mild and very little pain in the smaller joints that I have, but otherwise I feel very good and happy after taking the plan from Hormone Reset.
I was trending from double XL to triple XL in my dress size, and I come back to my double XL, and my knee pain is gone, which was the last 6 months biggest issue I had. I couldn't walk, but it is gone. And if I strain too much, it is the feet pain. Small issues are there, but my major pain was the knee pain, which is gone. I hope that if I continue doing this and I succeed in losing more weight, and things can get better. I don't want anybody to face what I've faced in my life. It's very tough. Being a woman, being what we have to do in our lives, the responsibilities hold, not only physically but emotionally. I think it's great. Continue, guys, all of you. All the best, and I really hope this works for all of you and you guys get healthy.
Before joining the program, I used to feel that life is just going out of my hand. But this program was doing, and the fasting accelerated, I think, the speed of mental and emotional imbalance. And now I feel that, everything is now in my hand. I feel that I can take charge of things. So that was a huge shift throughout the month.
For me, a lot of good changes have happened over the last couple of weeks. Starting with my menstrual flow. So I would say that has got better as compared to what it was earlier. I think skin glow has increased a lot. And second thing is that my dark circle has started reducing. I'm very convinced that I would like to follow this diet at least for in the long term.
I was diagnosed with 4 big size of fibroids in around the same time lockdown last year, and due to some extensive exercises and physical workout, 1.5 years I went through hell. I tried everything: Ayurvedic, homeopathy, Siddha medicine, everything. I've tried everything and it just didn't work. I also tried hormone pills for 3 months, and that just thickened my wall and had some complications. So a friend of mine suggested to do this program, and I did this program. I was still going through hell during the program. There were many days in the program my video will be off because I'll be going through so much pain and cramps that I'll be lying down, and I cannot even attend the program properly. The situation was really bad. As I followed the diet that they are suggesting, and medicines and supplements, just the lifestyle, I would say that I was just determined that, okay, fine. I asked doctor how much time it will take for me to heal, So she said about 4 to 6 months. I said, okay, 4 to 6 months, I'm going to devote myself to whatever they are saying. So I went through, and every month it was definitely difficult, but every month it started getting better. Since last month, there is no pain. I mean, I don't know, it's like not less than magic for me. It's bearable, very bearable, I would say. No pain. Yes, bleeding is still there, but it's changing. I would say every month I see something, a drastic change. ऐसा नहीं है कि थोड़ा थोड़ा change हो रहा है. It's a drastic change. So I don't know मैं जितना कहूँ उतना कम है, but I'm ready to share how much ever possible I'm willing to do, and I just hope that you take this step and just go through the program.
Okay, so we are open for questions, and those who have not answered the poll, please do. Yes, Nikita, you can unmute yourself and ask. Nikita, are you there? Okay. Anyone else who has a question?
Yeah, you can unmute now, actually.
Yeah, now I can unmute. Hello. My
Yeah.
question was very simple. Like, have you any clinical data which proves about this study of the hormonal reset program? Because this might be very personalized medicine, varying from individual to individual, depending on their condition, their level, and their uh, like male, female, and other things. So my basic question is, do you have the like clinical data? Because this is something like very nearer to their health issue. That's the reason I'm asking. Is this something a clinical data proven thing, or like it is just a lifestyle pattern changing diet,
So,
like a
Nikita,
diabetes reversal?
diabetes reversal, it's not just about diet. Okay. Now, when you say, do I have a clinical data? Now, it's not that me or Siddharth just woke up one day and we thought of, practicing functional medicine. Functional medicine is an evidence-based science. If you look up functional medicine, you'll get enough information in peer-reviewed journals. Okay. Now, whether the program hormone reset is clinically validated, well, for anything to be clinical validated and get published in the research papers, it takes 15 to 17 years.
Absolutely, I agree on that.
Yeah.
It needs
So,
preclinical data, trial 1, 2, 3, 4 phases. I
no.
agree on that.
We are not going for that, right?
Okay.
We have worked with more than 1,000 patients till date, right? We have seen good improvements in their health, and this is about our practice alone, right? There are numerous functional medicine doctors in India and abroad.
I agree with that.
Yes. Conventional medicine, which works the way it works on autoimmunity, right? Where immunosuppressants are the only drugs that's available to manage autoimmunity, right? There is enough data out there. There's enough clinical papers also out there, right? So do you ask your doctor, right? There is enough data about the side effects of this clinical drug that you've advised me. Should I
But
still
it has actually passed the clinical trial. That's why it is in the market.
It's
It
in the
has a
market,
scientific, yeah.
and it's damaging the health. It's not doing any good.
But the
Is
thing
that
is
data of
that
any value?
majority of the drugs that are available in the market are clinically proven. That's the reason doctors can prescribe according to the
So,
like
Nikita,
guidelines. That's the
understand.
reason I have to ask. No, it's not about your study is effective or not. The client testimonials are good enough. My
See, for
question
me,
is just
no. So, for me, where I come from, the client outcome is important, right? The interventions that we are doing, whether that is helping the client improve, that is important, right? I have been able to show very good outcomes in our patients. That is important.
So I will answer it a little differently. Whether our program we have, kind of submitted it for research publication and all, no, we have not, and we have no intention
okay.
of doing all that. Okay.
Okay.
But the fundamental approach that we use of functional medicine, there is enough and more data available. Okay, thousands and thousands of research studies are there, which are supporting every intervention that we are doing. The 10 root causes that I spoke about, there'll be like 100 studies on each of those or more. Okay, so there is enough evidence available if somebody is interested in looking for it. The problem with conventional system of medicine is that they don't want to look at anything which can actually heal a person. They only want you to manage your disease and keep going back to them. That is the difference in the approach. So there is
Okay.
enough research data which is available to support everything that we do.
Okay. Veena Chauhan, you can go next.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the beautiful session, actually. I have a question, like it's about my daughter who is 14 years old right now. She was like her periods were started when she was 10, and she has been diagnosed with like earlier, like when she started with the periods, like it was very heavy for at least for 3 4 months, like extending for 20 21 days. So we started with the medicines, and she's been diagnosed with the PCOS at that time. And I've shown it to the doctors, and then I think there was a medicine prescribed for 21 days, and she was okay after that. But then my question is, like, now she's 14 years old, and though her periods are okay now, it's been okay since last 2 years. We have taken homeopathy from Batras for 1 year actually, but after taking these medicines, she's having severe acne, and then, body hair and other things, actually, hair fall, and even, the skin is very dry and the body odor. So all these kind of issues are there, and she's just 14 years old. So I've been, yeah, going here and there, like I've visited AIMS as well, and they said that because she's very young actually to start with any hormonal medicines. She was at the time she was 12 and a half years old.
You don't need any hormonal medicines,
Yeah,
Veena.
that's right. She's just 14 years old. But
No,
my
it's not
concern
about
is
14
at
years. Nobody
yeah.
with these symptoms needs hormonal pills. Okay. See,
Mm-hmm.
all the treatment you are doing, you have done till now, and with the best intentions, has been symptomatic in nature.
Yeah.
Okay. While you are, let's say, taking homeopathy, the environment has not been addressed. There are reasons why that imbalance in the body is happening. That reason has not been addressed. But you are trying to take medicine to change the effect of that environment. It will not work in the long run.
Right.
And that is the difference in our approach. We work at the roots. What are the reasons why a child would have a hormonal imbalance of that nature? We go to that reason and to help you address that. And if you do that properly, the body will balance itself out. You heard Adhira's testimonial, right? She
Yes.
had such big fibroid and such bad pain. 15 days on a month she will be on bed. She cannot get up and sit even to attend this live session. And from there, in a matter of 3 4 months, she was absolutely pain free, right? So it is very much possible. You don't need medicines for this.
Okay, right. Thank you. And also, this is about me. I'm having hypothyroidism actually since I was very young. I was in I was hardly 18 at the time it's been diagnosed. So I was with the hyperthyroidism, and then after my pregnancy, after my delivery, it was shifted to hypo actually. So I've
You
been
had
taking
hyper earlier, and then it became
yes,
hypo.
yeah,
So
it is
did
now
you check
hypo
the
actually.
antibodies anytime?
Yes, I did actually recently because I'm ha also having same fatigue issues and health issues and headaches and all these things like pain in the body, and especially the
Yeah,
wrist
yeah, common
area. So
common
all those,
symptoms,
yeah, yeah.
common
So
symptoms
all
of
these,
thyroid. Yeah.
so we tested, and the ANA profile and everything was done. Like it was greater than 3. So they do said that there is some autoimmune related issue actually
See,
which needs to be addressed. Yeah.
hyperthyroidism almost always, almost 100% is a autoimmune issue. Hypo
Okay.
can happen because of many reasons, but hyper is almost always autoimmune.
Okay.
Yes.
But right now I'm taking medicines for hypothyroidism. It's been almost 10 years, more than 10 years
Okay.
actually.
Okay.
And I'm taking all the calcium related medicines, thyroid related medicine, but there are still the same symptoms. I don't
Yeah,
know why I'm
but
taking these medicines because it is not helping me out at all. So I'm taking it regularly, early morning, and then I'm having same fatigue
that's
loss. I'm having
exactly
same.
what I said, right? The moment you're diagnosed with thyroid, the thyroid pill becomes your best friend, and you
Yeah.
don't leave that thyroid pill,
Mhm.
until the end of life. So, well, well, you just ask the right question. You don't know. I mean, why you are taking these medications, right? So it's time you question and address, really find the answers for that. Why you are taking these, right? Get yourself properly evaluated. Get a correlation done between your symptoms and your blood work and the other detailed investigations. And in the program that we just spoke about, we exactly do that. So yeah, you can reach out to our team so that we can.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Nasira, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Hello?
Yes, please.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Well, first of all, I'm so grateful to you and Dr. Siddharth, I think that's what his name is, that we are actually able to have access to a program like this. I mean, a lot of people, maybe they're not aware of this. Like 5 years ago in India, there was nothing. And
Absolutely.
even now, if you go to another country where this is primarily a North American institution, right? Organization. And that's where, I mean, if you go to a doctor there and the amount of money you're going to have to pay from your own pocket because nothing is covered by insurance, $400 for a consultation, then several consultations. It's a very expensive affair. And the fact that you're, conducting this program in rupees, it is, I'm not saying it's nothing, but it is quite affordable, given, what, the benefits. And I know, like, I'm here to ask a question, but, I think one of the first people who just asked a question, they asked about the validity of what you are doing, right? And although I'm not a doctor and I'm the one who should be answering the question, but I feel compelled to say something. Can I?
Sure.
Okay, conventional medicine killed my father. And that's how I got into all of this. Okay, he was the best patient that a doctor could ever have. Taking his pills, doing exactly what the doctor ordered. Not now, since he was young, he's always been like, it's always, those teacher pet kind of characters who do exactly what the teacher wants. They have the utmost respect for the teacher and everything. Exactly, exercise exactly what the doctor said, the way the doctor said, eat exactly what the doctor said. Then when you're diagnosed with something, just keep taking your pills. It was like a ritual for him taking his medication. So he went from heart disease, and then he was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and oh my God, the kind of medications, that a person has to take. It started with the medication for heart disease. Okay, I think the statins. And the statins caused his Parkinson's. Because they kind of, I think they block your cholesterol and deprive your brain, all the nutrients.
They also destroy the CoQ10 in the body, and that leads to mitochondrial dysfunction, which is at the root of Parkinson's, etc.
Exactly. And when the Parkinson's got really severe, then they started giving him all these medications, and he would have hallucinations. So I'm saying this, what kind of what kind of system is this that just thrives? It's a parasitic system, just thrives on people being sick. I don't think they want anybody cured.
Yeah. So see, conventional medicine, I'm trained as a conventional doctor. So it has its benefits, for emergencies, for acute conditions, right? But for chronic conditions, which largely we are talking about right now, right, a lot can be done to recover health.
All right. Okay. Speaking about this now, when I compare myself to all the, other people who are giving the testimonials, I might have symptoms that are relatively mild, so I feel kind of embarrassed even sharing them. Okay, but because I've seen things get so bad, I would rather take preemptive, preemptively take care of everything before things get worse.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. So it had to take seeing my father suffer like that, and when we started, it was just too late. So I've got eczema for the past 10 years. Chronic eczema, it's weeping eczema on both on my ankles and on my lower limbs. It is unslightly a little irritating and uncomfortable, but it's not like it stops me from doing whatever I have. It's more cosmetic. Actually, all my issues are cosmetic. Okay, so I have been trying. I would like to get rid of that if possible. That would be a great relief.
So, Nasira, most of the
Yeah.
time, it's fungus, it's a manifestation of fungal infection in the body. And of course, we will look for fungus infection, but apart from that, a lot of other things can be at play as well. So we can definitely address that.
Yeah, and also I've got severe acne. See, both these chronic issues, they started at a time when there was a lot of stress. And then, like stress, okay, there's like a level of stress that everyone can handle. But, like the times where like you remember memorable stressful event, right? It's not all the time. So even when the stressors are gone, it's still there, The same way I'm 42. Okay, and I'm dealing with severe cystic acne.
Yeah.
And I've dieted my whole life. And I would see that I've done all of those things, juice fasts, and I love the way it makes you feel. But I've been on like a 2-month juice fast, and my husband lost 12 kg.
Yeah, I think we lost you.
Yes.
To struggle with, weight gain, with obesity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like if we follow the exact same thing, if we have the exact same regimen, her body processes everything much, much more efficiently than mine. There is something going on, right?
Absolutely. See, each body is different. So what works for one person may not work for the other, right? So we have to exactly look for what is causing the imbalance in your body. So we will have to take an individual, personalized approach to address, and that's what we do in the program. So, Nasira, you can get in touch with our team member, Dr. Meera. She has left her number in the chat, and yes, the links are all there.
Right. Before we go to the next question, any of you who want to, discuss anything before you sign up, please leave your number in the chat. Abha, you can please unmute yourself and ask.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Thank you so much for this session, ma'am. Actually, I'm a 48 years old, and I have been diagnosed from SLE since like a long time ago, around 2000. And after that, like, just 4 to 5 years back, uh, some symptoms happened that was just different from that. I mean, like I started losing muscles and, droopy eyelids and everything. And suddenly my right knee start hurting a lot. And I had hypertension induced from SLE. And then doctor said, like, you are having osteoarthritis in your right knee that is also induced by this SLE. And like I had taken all the treatments from everywhere, but doctor was not able to diagnose like what's exactly happening. They all said, like as you said, everything is all right. All tests were negative. So suddenly, when this COVID started, I had COVID attacks 3 times. And then in 2022, December end, suddenly I saw like a chunk of like my thigh got lost. I mean, like I lost so many muscles from my thigh and my right hand and, calf and everywhere. So I got worried, and then I found one rheumatologist and I discussed, and he's like, then I went through all the tests, and he diagnosed I'm like now I'm like my polymyositis overlap syndrome is going on. That was diagnosed, and he suspected maybe that is due to SLE, or maybe some other reason is there. But the question is like, sir and ma'am, I just wanted to know whether are you a rheumatologist or you are as a physician, what kind of, I'm sorry, like, but because I joined late, so I don't know if you have given the introduction about yourself.
All right.
So I just wanted to know this thing. And the second thing, right now I'm on steroids since last 7 months, steroids and immunosuppressant medicines. Almost 8 tablets I'm taking morning and evening. And because of steroids, I like gained so much weight also. And I just wanted to know whether this polymyositis can be reversed with this program, because I have lost so many muscles from my thigh, my calf area, my hand. Doctor said these muscles can't be, gained again, but yeah, we can stop, like you can stop losing further muscles with this treatment which is going on. So I'm just like, very much upset because I know these conventional medicines and these allopathic medicines definitely are not a permanent solution for this kind of, disease. And they give so many side effects also. So I just wanted to get rid of all these things, and I just wanted to get cured permanently. So, ma'am, I just wanted to know whether this is possible or not in my case.
So, Abha, the answer to your first question, whether we are rheumatologist or, what's our specialization. So I'm sure by now you have visited so many doctors who are much, much more qualified, experienced than what me and Siddharth are. Okay. What we practice is very different, right? We practice functional medicine, which is a root cause based approach. You will get the recording of the session so that you can watch right from the beginning and understand a lot of things that we spoke about. So we don't need to be a rheumatologist to, because a rheumatologist uses a conventional approach of managing symptoms. We take the root cause based approach, right? Now, you started off with one autoimmune condition, lupus, right? It wasn't treated. The autoimmunity was not treated, basically, which led to another autoimmune condition, which led to the third one. Okay. Now, there are, so one thing is you stop further damage, and at the same time, you work on recovery. Okay. How do you stop further damage? You need to hit the cause of autoimmunity. If you're not doing that, whatever else you are doing is just management.
All right.
Now, with your lupus, polymyositis, and multiple other, health problems that you have, we can definitely help you recover, right? It will not happen in, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It will need, couple of months. But with every passing month, you will see yourself in a better situation than before.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm going through very much chronic pains.
Yes.
And though I'm very much like, active, I used to be very active because of these, my knee problems, my joint problems, my, these osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, hypertension. Because of all these issues and this polymyositis, uh, my, movement reduced, and I feel really very low, and very fatigued, and I have so many, so much chronic pains and all. So I know, all these things, maybe, I will be able to, like with your treatment it will be cured. But I just wanted to know whether, my muscles, as I told you, I'm losing so many muscles. So can it be recovered, or it will stop?
Yeah. So that's what I said. There are two aspects to the treatment. One is you stop the damage. The second is you provide that support to your body for recovery, right? You need to give that building blocks to your body. You need to give your protein the right kind of protein which your body can take. Okay, so we'll work on all those things, and with complete dedication and implementation, you will definitely recover.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Soumya, you want to go next? We'll take last two questions, one from Soumya and the other from Anurupa.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, I have this issue. I don't know what name comes under this, but all my joints started making sounds, the click sounds, and when I started to work out, all my muscles are getting spasms. So I have all my body is getting stiff. So there are so many muscular and joint pains. So does these things also come under this program?
Yes, it does. So now a diagnosis is not important, right? Like, what disease do you have? We need to look at the inflammatory markers. We need to look at, various parameters that can help us information about, why your muscles are stiff, why is there pain, joint pain, and all that. Okay, so we look for cause of inflammation. We'll look for the deficiencies. We'll take all your signs and symptoms, and accordingly advise investigations that we will need, to fix. So yes, it's covered in the program.
As it is a group program, but you are telling the individual approach will be there. So
yes. So the treatment is completely individual. Yeah.
Correct. You can't treat a group. You can educate a group, you can motivate a group, and that's what we do, right? But you can't treat a group. Treatment has to be of each individual person separately.
Yes. And even for women, there are two options. If a woman, she does not want to go for a group program and wants an individual program, yeah, it's there.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay, Anurupa. Anurupa, please.
Hi, Dr. Session on the join Hello.
Yes. Sorry, can you please repeat? Okay, I'm not able to hear. Shabana, you want to ask your question?
Yeah, I'm there, Dr. Ruli.
Okay, all right. Yeah, Anurupa, please ask.
Right. Okay. First of all, thank you for this wonderful session. So often we go on Googling, searching about new concepts, say, for example, functional approach. But thank you for organizing this session, because always, in Google, we get a different variety of, answers and research. But it's good that we are getting this kind of information for free from doctors like you. So really good job. So, having said that, what I want to highlight is, so I was diagnosed with hypothyroid for the first time last year, and my TSH, raised at that time at 229, and this I had no symptoms. There was no symptoms for hypothyroid. And I started taking thyroxine, started with 75 mcg. Within a month, my thyroid levels were normal with the thyroid medicines. And from that day, every 3 months, my medicines is actually being, the dosage is lowered because my thyroid levels are always normal. So from 75, it went to 62, 62, 50, 35. So that's how in 1 year time, my thyroid levels are lowered. The thyroid levels are normal and the dosage is titrated in that manner. So, but then the first time when I was diagnosed, I was also asked to check my TPO, which I did not do at that moment because I was not very knowledgeable about what is an anti-TPO is about. So it's been just last 1 month when I did my anti-TPO, testing, and there I found out that my anti-TPO was greater than 1300. When I went to my endocrinologist, the only answer she said is there is nothing to worry about, or there is nothing to do about this. You're getting your thyroid medicines, and your thyroid levels are really at normal levels, and it has always been. So there is nothing you can do about it. Although I have been since the last year, there has been chronic fatigue, which is not allowing me to work in my fullest potential. That chronic fatigue is something which is very, very annoying, and it's not letting me to work. So that's why I started, searching about functional medicine, and I came across many platforms, many programs in India who are actually offering functional medicines. So my question from that per se is what. So because I feel like I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, so what what will be done specially, or what is that signature step to look forward in hormone reset program that I will be I will be assured that yes, this program or this specific hormone research program will be appropriate for. Is that just another functional medicine program, or is there something to look forward? Is there something that will be done differently in this program? That's my question.
So, Anurupa, every FM practitioner, right, has their own way of treating, right? You will not find a single FM practitioner, doing the same thing that the next one is doing. Okay. And, the hormone reset program has been designed, where we have combined FM practices, we have combined, the yogic principles, we have combined, traditional values, traditional principles as well. And if you're, later you can ask our team for the program brochure where you see a lot more details. Okay. So I'm not aware how others would treat, but yes, I can definitely say the hormone reset program it's a very unique program. Mm-hmm. And if you watch the entire webinar, there were different components that we spoke about, right? Right from the root cause analysis to incorporating the focus on stress management, meditation, mental health, detoxification, gut health. So we have tried to cover every aspect that is important in the recovery of an individual.
One question on that part, when you say, mental health conditions that probably might get triggered because of stress and anxiety. So in that respect, when you are saying it's about yoga and meditation, so will there be also psychological, psychological counseling, or it will be mainly focused on specific programs, yogic programs or meditation?
We are not doing psychological counseling. We will be providing techniques which will help you, kind of work on these lines.
However, in unique cases where we feel a one-on-one approach like that is needed, we will connect you with some people who are very good at it.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I don't see any more hands up. So okay. Thank you. Second. So thank you all of you.
Okay, there's a hand which went up just now.
All right, just the last question. Shabana, please ask your question.
So I had a similar question like the earlier participant, but now I'm changing my question because there's some answer what you gave some time back. So my question is like, what kind of supplements do you actually focus on? Are they again allopathy based, or is it with the regular food what we have, and there you personalize the food supplements? Is it like that, and what kind of it? Because I couldn't attend the entire program, so I just joined at the fag end, so I was not very much sure about it.
All right. So Shabana, in that case, I definitely advise you to watch. The recording will be available, so please watch so that you see what all we covered. And so your question is, will the diet be personalized, if I'm right? Will the diet supplements be
Supplements. Do they again fall under the allopathy
No,
kind
so
of?
supplements are nutraceuticals. They are not drugs.
Okay.
They're nutraceuticals which are given to address deficiencies. If the heavy metals are there, it will help in removing them. If infections are there, like certain herbs help in combating infections. So accordingly, what we identify as the root cause, we use certain supplements to address them.
So in other words, when you say allopathy, supplements are from allopathy, that's not possible. See, simple way to understand supplements is things that should have come from the food but have not come for a variety of reasons, but they're obviously essential for the body to function well. We are bringing those things through the supplementation.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll go through the program, so I will have a lot more questions. Maybe I can get in touch personally.
Sure.
That would be
Sure. Yes. If you want a team to get in touch with you, you can please leave your name and number in the chat.
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you. I'll leave my number.
Yes. Okay. All right. So thank you all of you. It was wonderful to have you all on a Friday evening with us. And we look forward to working with those of you who need help. I hope all of you have reached, those who are seeking help from us, you've left your number in the chat so that our team can connect with you. And I hope, this workshop gave you a different perspective to address autoimmune conditions. So with that, have a great evening, all of you. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good night.